Welcome to all of you. Myself, K. Manjula, Assistant Professor of Physics, Dr. BRR Government Degree College, Jadchilra, Mahbubnagar district. Coming to today's class. In this class, let us learn about liquefaction of gases and how the helium gas liquefied by using Kapitja's method. So this is one of means by using liquefaction of gases like hydrogen and helium, we can get low temperatures up to minus 263 degrees centigrade. So this is the one of the method to get low temperatures, because already we are discussing different types of methods to produce low temperatures. This is one of the important method that is related to liquefaction of gases. So let us know about this Kapitja's method and how the scientist Kapitja liquefy the helium gas. Here you are observing the experimental setup of Kapitja's method, which he used to liquefy this helium gas. Here this is the experimental setup. In 1934, Kapitja constructed this helium liquefier. This is known as a helium liquefier experimental setup. He used the process of experimental setup of Claude's method, because Claude's named scientist used this method to produce low temperatures by using another gases. In the same way, Kapitja used that Claude's method. But in this experiment, Kapitja used two types of expansions. One is adiabatic expansion and another one is Joule Kelvin expansion. By using these two types of expansions, Kapitja liquefied the helium gas. Here another important priority of this experiment is that he used a special type of expansion engine here. Suppose say this is the special type of expansion engine. In this expansion engine, there is no necessary to use any lubricant type of oil like this, turpentine oil or any another types of lubricant. There is no necessary to use, because in this expansion engine, the piston was loosely fitted in this cylinder. So there is a small gap between this piston and the this cylinder. So there is no need to use another extra that is lubricant type oils. So this is the priority of this Kapitja's method. So this is the importance of this Kapitja's method and the experimental setup. Let us know the construction and working of this experiment. So totally the experiment contains 4 parts, that is compressor here, this one is compressor region, and this one is the cold water jacket system, and this one is the refrigerating coil system. This one is the heat exchanger. When the gas flows through these 4 regions, it undergoes liquefied. So these are the 4 parts of this helium liquefier. See, this is compressor P. So first we have to take the gas which is to be liquefied is taken in the form of pure and dry. That will be first step. Pure and dry helium is compressed to 30 atmosphere by using this compressor P. So the pressure of the gas is now 30 atmosphere. Here you see, due to the compression of the gas, the heat is generated, though gas is heats up. After that, when the gas flows through this tube, Due to the cold water system arrangement surrounding this tube, the heat generated is removed by this cold water system. So the heat of the gas is thus removed in the second step, that is compressor region and at the cold water jacket system. After that, the gas enters into the refrigerating coil system. This is third one. Here the refrigerating coil system is nothing but here the gas is pre-cooled because this the coil is arranged in the bath B. You are observing this is bath B. The bath B is in again kept in the liquid. The bath B contains liquid nitrogen boiling under reduced pressure. So, what is the purpose of this liquid nitrogen boiling under pressure means liquid nitrogen boiling under reduced pressure gives the low temperature. So, means it cools up the gas still. So, again at this refrigerating coil, the gas is again pre-cooled. After that, the gas means the pre-cooled gas here the pre-cooled gas is after this one it enters into the heat exchanger. This is known as at A. The gas is divided into two parts. This A part is known as a heat exchanger. At heat exchanger, the gas divides into two parts. 90% of the gas passes through this expansion engine, whereas only 10% of gas passes through the tube straight and reaches this throttle valve. After throttle valve, at this throttle valve, the gas liquefies. Only 10% of gas here 10% of the gas liquefies through the tube straight. Next, what about this 90% of gas which enters into this expansion engine? So, this 90% of gas which enters this expansion engine undergoes undergoes adiabatic expansion and cools to a temperature of minus 263 degrees centigrade. So, this is the how the helium gas is cooled in the expansion engine region. Its temperature is now minus 263 degree centigrade. Next, what happens is as the cooled gas is rises up in the heat exchanger through this spiral tube and cools the second part which is coming from the upside. So, the gas finally combines with this second part in tube C. Here this tube C, the arrangement is not shown here, just imagine. So, the gas which cools combines with the second part and reaches this compressor again and reaches like this. This cooled gas reaches this compressor, this one like this, reaches the compressor and here there. So, the gas finally combines with the second part of tube C and reaches the compressor P to begin a new cycle. So, again it gets liquefied after going these type of cycles. Like this, helium gas is liquefied by using this Kapitjas method. Next, after the completion of this Kapitjas method, let us know some applications of low temperatures, because we have already learnt different types of methods to produce low temperatures. So, what are the uses? See here, if we take any substance at ordinary temperature or in lowest temperature, the behavior is different, because the behavior of matter at low temperature is different from its behavior at ordinary temperature. So, due to this reason, there are so many applications of these low temperature materials in the branches, different branches of science, research, and other industries also. So let us discuss one by one the applications of this low temperatures. First of all, superconductivity. Superconductivity is nothing but superconductivity is the property of a material where it loses its total electrical resistance. So this is called as a superconductivity. So this superconductivity property occurs at low temperatures only. So if we decrease the temperature of a material, its electrical resistance decreases and vanishes. At that temperature, it allows maximum current. Means the electrical loss will be less. That is, power loss will be less. So due to this reason, means this is also application of a low temperature physics. So for this purpose, we can understand this first application like this. Conductors at room temperature are converted into superconductors. So by using these superconductors, power losses in electrical appliances can be reduced. So this is one property of this low temperature. Next, another application of this low temperature materials is at temperature below 90 Kelvin. Most of the chemical reactions are stopped to occur. So there are no chemical reactions below minus 90 Kelvin. So at this temperature, any item that is stored items, that is animal or vegetable matter, can be preserved without any purification. This is the second method. Like this is a refrigeration process also. This is also nothing but use of refrigeration. And another one is, we know that the paramagnetic character. Oxygen is a paramagnetic material. If we decrease the temperature, that means, suppose say oxygen is a paramagnetic material. When the temperature suppose say, when the temperature decreases, this paramagnetic material, the paramagnetic character is increases due to the decrease in temperature. That means low temperature. If we reduce the temperature of oxygen, its paramagnetic nature increases. So this property is used to measure the temperature at absolute zero. Okay. Next one. Next, to know the atmospheric changes by simulation process. How? Means by generating low temperature conditions. See here. By generating this is the application, sorry. By generating low temperature conditions of upper atmosphere in the laboratory, the properties of upper atmosphere can be studied under simulation process. This is the simulation, that is the low temperature, by creating a low temperatures in the laboratory. Next, another one is liquid oxygen. We know about liquid oxygen. Liquid oxygen is used in hospitals for respiration. This is a well-known thing. Similarly, liquid oxygen along with the charcoal is used for the manufacture of the explosives. Next, ammonia and sulfur dioxide, freon, these are all the refrigerants. These liquids are used in the refrigeration process and ACs also, that is air condition processes. Next, the calorimeter is used. Calorimeter is used to, what is the purpose of this calorimeter? The calorimeter is used to measure the specific heat. So this calorimeter is used for the measurement of specific heats at low temperatures. Make use of liquid air and liquid oxygen and a liquid hydrogen also. So these are the some applications of low temperature. These are the next. Let us already we have discussed different types of methods to produce low temperature. Again, just recall them. That is one by one. That is, what is the low temperature? What are the low temperatures means? The production and measurements of temperatures between here minus 273 degree centigrade to 0 degree centigrade. These are known as the low temperatures. The part of physics which deals with these type of low temperatures is known as a cryogenics. You are observing. This is the cryogenics. Similarly, the production of low temperatures is known as also refrigeration. Next, what is the, just now we discussed importance of low temperature. There are so many importance or applications. That is mainly to study the effect on many properties like atomic heat, susceptibility, thermal and electrical conductivities, and to study the upper atmosphere also, and to study the new phenomena, that is superconductivity, arises to this due to this low temperatures only. So to study the new phenomenon like superconductivity and superfluidity. These are. So let us discuss what are the methods of low temperatures. Already we have discussed some of them, but let us discuss clearly about these theoretical methods. That is, the methods generally employed for this purpose are one by one. Just you are observing this slide. That is freezing mixtures. See, this is the first one is freezing mixtures, and by using this freezing mixture method also we can get low temperatures. Next, by evaporation under reduced pressure. Next, by adiabatic expansion of compressed gas. Next, by Joule-Thomson expansion, by adiabatic desorption and adiabatic demagnetization. These are some methods to produce low temperatures. Let us discuss one by one clearly. That is freezing mixture method. What is freezing mixture method? That is, freezing mixture is nothing but a combination of salt, adding of salt to ice to salt. This is known as a freezing mixture. So when we add ice to salt, what happens is some ice melts. This ice melts by absorbing heat from the salt, like this, by absorb heat from the salt. Similarly, after some time, the salt starts dissolving in the water. So, two processes are going on when ice is added to the salt. Ice starts melting and salt starts dissolving in the water. For these two process, what need? Some heat is needed. So, that is, heat is absorbed by the salt for dissolving in the water. That is known as a heat of solution. Similarly, heat absorbed by ice for melting. This is known as a heat of fusion. So, for these two processes, the heat is needed. So, this total heat is taken from the mixture itself. So, automatically what happens? The temperature of the mixture falls down. This is the mechanism happening in the freezing. So, why we call this as a method of freezing mixture means the temperature decreases. For this substances means by using this freezing mixture the temperature decreases. That's what we define eutectic temperature of materials. That is the lowest temperature that can be attained by this freezing method is known as eutectic temperature. In the first class we discussed about common salt gives eutectic temperature of minus 22 degrees centigrade. And similarly, different substances have different eutectic temperatures. So, this is the method of freezing mixture. Similarly, coming to second method for producing low temperatures is evaporation of liquids under reduced pressure. So what this method tells us that when a thermally isolated liquid is allowed to evaporate or boil under reduced pressure, what happens? The liquid has to evaporate. Liquid has to evaporate means it needed some heat. So the heat is absorbed by its own, that is latent heat of vaporization. So it takes that latent heat of vaporization from its own, so that the temperature of the liquid decreases. Like that, this produce the low temperature. By using this method, liquid hydrogen boiling under normal pressure gives minus 255.78 degrees centigrade. Here, this one. By using this under reduced pressure, liquid hydrogen gives minus 255.78 degrees centigrade at normal pressure. Similarly, helium also gives minus 268.9 degrees centigrade. Similarly, next third process, that is adiabatic expansion of compressed gas. Already we know that in the name itself adiabatic expansion, that means already compressed gas. Here this is already highly compressed gas is suddenly allowed to expand adiabatically against to the some external pressure. What happens? The energy needed to do this external work is taken from the internal energy of the system. So that's what the temperature of this gas decreases. So because the temperature is a function of internal energy. So when the gas does work against to the external pressure, the energy needed to do work is absorbed by the gas itself. Automatically temperature decreases. So in Kapitsa method, just now we discussed this process used by Kapitsa for liquefaction of both hydrogen and helium. In this one, adiabatic means in the special type of expansion he used. At that region, this adiabatic expansion we will observe. Similarly, next one, that is Joule-Thomson expansion. This is also we have already discussed. That is, in Joule-Thomson expansion also the gas cools. Means depending upon the initial temperature. That is, if the initial temperature of the gas is less than the inversion temperature, the gas cools. So what is the Joule-Thomson expansion? When a gas is allowed to pass through the porous plug from high pressure region to low pressure region, so its temperature changes. That may be depending upon the initial temperature. So this is the Joule-Thomson expansion. This Joule-Thomson cooling can be intensified by employing the process called regenerative cooling. In this helium Kapitsa's method also we use this Joule-Thomson expansion. Next, adiabatic desorption. Here another the method, that is adiabatic desorption. This is the difference between the absorption and adsorption. See here. See, this is absorption. This is adsorption. How we produce the low temperature by this method is nothing but removal of adsorbed gas from a solid surface. This is the surface. It's known as a desorption. That is, during this process, heat is taken from the surface under adiabatic condition. Hence, the solid is cooled. If this solid is means already the solid which is subjected to adsorption, and means by cooling this solid again subjected to adiabatic desorption, the required energy is taken from the internal energy of the solid, so that the gas further cooled. So this is the method of adiabatic desorption. So that means the solid is further cooled. This method is used by the Simon in liquefying helium. Simon also liquefied this helium by using another method. So by using this method also we can get the low temperatures. And last one is that is adiabatic demagnetization. Already this also completed. Adiabatic demagnetization is, just recall, that is already magnetized material is subjected to demagnetize adiabatically. So then to demagnetize the material has to do some work against to the external external work. So the work is needed from the material as its own. So automatically the internal energy decreases, its temperature falls down. So by using this method we can get 10 to the power minus 4 Kelvin of temperature or below it also. So in this method a magnetized paramagnetic salt is demagnetized under adiabatic condition. So these are the methods to produce low temperature. So this is just a recall today's class. Let us revise this today's class. That is just observe. See here. In this today's class we have discussed the Kapitjas method to liquefy the helium gas. This is the Kapitjas method. Kapitja used a Claude's method. In this Claude's method, he uses the priority of this experiment is nothing but a special type of expansion engine he used. In this one, there is no use of lubricants like turpentine and or any other type of oils, because in this Kapitja's experiment, this piston and the cylinder are loosely fitted, so that there is no need to use again another lubricant materials. Coming to the construction and working, the total construction and working depends upon 4 parts of this experiment. That is, first one is compressor, next second one cold water jacket system, and refrigerating coil, heat exchanger. So first pure and dry helium is compressed to 30 atmosphere by using compressor. Due to the compression, heat is generated. The generated heat is removed by this cold water system in the second region, and after that the gas enters into the refrigerating coil system. This refrigerating coil is arranged in a box B, which contains nitrogen, boiling nitrogen under a steady state. So the gas is heat here at the refrigerating coil. After that, the gas enters into the heat exchanger. Yes, you are observing in the slide. This experiment. That is, this gas divides into 2 parts. That is, one is 90% is in this direction. That is 90% into the expansion. 90% of gas passes through the expansion engine. Only 10% of the gas passes straight through the tube, at the end of which it expands through the throttle valve and liquefies. Here we are getting liquid helium. So what about 90%? The gas which enters into the expansion engine cools up to minus 263 degrees centigrade. The gas again rises up and cools the gas which is coming from upward, which is coming from this region here, in this region. So like this, the gas combines with the second part of this gas and reaches the compressor again to start a new cycle. So after so many cycles, some few cycles, the gas liquefies. So this is the method of Kapitjas. Next, coming to discussion of applications of low temperatures. There are so many applications of these low temperature substances or materials, because only fact that the behavior of matter at low temperatures is different from the behavior at ordinary temperature. Due to this means the property, the behavior depends upon the its temperature. So that purpose, these are many applications in different branches of science, research, industry, and atmospheric also. So some important applications are superconductivity. The superconductivity arises due to low temperatures concepts only. So when we decrease the temperature of a material, some material shows zero resistance. Means they allow maximum current, means without power loss. So that is the conductors by application of this superconductivity. By using these superconductors, power losses in electrical appliances can be reduced. Next, um, for preserving purpose, that is non-veg material, that is animal and vegetable matter, can be preserved without any purification below at or below 90 Kelvin. Means at this temperature, most of the chemical reactions are stopped to occur. So that similarly, the paramagnetic character increases with a decrease in temperature. So this is property is used to measure the absolute zero. We can study the properties of atmosphere by creating a low temperatures in the laboratory by simulation process. In hospitals also we use these low temperature materials, liquid oxygen, liquid oxygen with charcoal also. And another important one is ammonia and sulfur dioxide, freon, or refrigerants. And different methods to produce these low temperatures are, that is freezing mixture, evaporation under reduced pressure, adiabatic expansion of compressed gas, Joule-Thomson expansion, adiabatic desorption, adiabatic demagnetization. So in the freezing mixture, the process when we add a ice to the salts, different types of salts, its temperature decreases. This temperature is known as a eutectic temperature. By using sodium chloride, we get minus 22 degrees centigrade. And another is evaporation of liquids under reduced pressure. In this method also, we get low temperatures of minus 255.78 degrees centigrade, and helium, by using helium minus 268.9. Adiabatic expansion, highly compressed gas is suddenly subjected to expand adiabatically against some external pressure. The gas has to do work. The energy required for this purpose taken from its own internal energy, so that its internal energy decreases, so that temperature decreases. Coming to Joule-Thomson expansion, when a gas is allowed to pass through porous plus high pressure region to low pressure region, its temperature changes. Adiabatic desorption, removal of adsorbed gas from a solid surface is known as adsorption. For this purpose, during this purpose, heat is taken from the surface under adiabatic conditions. And next step, if a solid already subjected to adsorption is again subjected to adiabatic desorption, it requires heat energy. This is taken from its internal energy, so its temperature still decreases. This next, another one is adiabatic demagnetization. In this method also, already magnetized material is suddenly made to demagnetized. It's demagnetized adiabatically, its temperature decreases. So these are the some methods to produce low temperatures. Let us discuss some important questions on this low temperature physics. That is, Describe the coming to short answer type, because these are important for the examination point of view. Most of the questions are experimental oriented, so just you have to draw the figure and practice it. So first question is, describe the Joule Kelvin experiment and explain the result. Already this is completed, we have to explain. And another one is, in this before Joule Kelvin experiment we have a porous plug experiment, that is explain the porous plug experiment. Next, compare Joule-Thomson expansion with adiabatic expansion. Next, describe the method of producing liquid helium by Kapitjas method. Just now we have discussed it. What are the properties of ideal refrigerant? What are the some important properties we have discussed in that one. Next, what is refrigerator? Explain the principle of refrigeration. This is also important for the examination. Next, coming to long answer type. What is Joule-Thomson cooling? Derive the expression for Joule-Thomson cooling. So we have to derive the dT equation. By that equation, what is the immersion temperature, under what condition the gas cools up, or under what condition the gas heats up, we have to explain by this Joule-Thomson cooling expression. Next, this is define this refrigeration. Explain the principle of working of vapor compression type machine. Vapor compression type refrigerator. Next, what is adiabatic demagnetization? Obtain an expression for final temperature of the salt. These are the some important questions based on the low temperature physics. So this is about low temperature physics. In this low temperature physics, we have started with the different so that is expansions, Joule expansion, Joule-Thomson expansion, adiabatic expansion. Next, this is Joule Kelvin effect, Joule-Thomson cooling. Next, adiabatic demagnetization. Next, here that is refrigeration. Next, helium liquefaction of gases applications. So this is about low temperature physics. Thank you.